Thank you for spending a little bit of time on New Year's Day with me. Yes, it is January 1st, 2022. And I look forward to the year with a little bit of fear and a whole lot of excitement. It is what it is, isn't it? And this year I am planning on some fun times. I know that I am scheduled for 5 days at Quilters Affair in Sisters, Oregon, and I cannot wait. Last year I did Zoom classes, and that was okay. You know, I have no problem with Zoom, by the way. Being somewhat of an introvert, it gives just that little bit of layer of comfort to me. But I know that I will have a blast. I'll be exhausted at the end of that, but I cannot wait. I just want to see the quilts. I want to be with friends. I want to be with people that are friends that I haven't even met yet. So I hope you get some stitching. I'm currently, as we chat and share, I am working on the vine on this particular block of my sewing room. And I will put the link down below. That is heart to hand pattern. And I just love it. And it's been around for a while, so it needs to get done, doesn't it? Look at behind me. I read all the comments. I don't necessarily, obviously, I would get no stitching done if I engaged in all of it, but I read all of it, and I love all of it, and I hear all of it. So please, please keep leaving your comments. I enjoy them. I just love the community that we built here. But one of you in the comments said that what was behind me was stressing you out. And that was all those quilts that needed to be quilted. And when I came in here, after reading that, I thought, that is stressful for me too. And maybe I need to shake it up a little bit. Maybe I need to just kind of shake up my world a little bit. Sometimes we fall into a routine or a pattern that seems like the path of least resistance, but we don't understand that sometimes it creates a rut. And so I thought, you know, I think I'm going to shake it up. And so I thank you for your comment. When I thought about what I wanted to do, I realized that I had a whole stack, going back a handful of years, of quilts that have the binding attached but not tacked down. They were just in a pile, and I had not touched one of them this year. I mean last year. It's so fun to be able to say that, last year. So I said, I'm going to take the quilts off of this rack that need layering and quilting and give them a rest. And I'm going to put on this rack the quilts that have the bindings attached to them, but I haven't tacked down the binding. You'll hear an occasional car drive by because I have the window open. I have not been able to have the window opened in a week, at least a week. It's been too cold and snowy. Today, although not extremely sunny, the temperature is a lot better, higher, and the road is, it's still got a little bit of snow on the side of it, but the center of it, finally there's people able to get out of their homes, because I live on the top of a mountain, and there are people, because it's on the mountain and people are building down the sides of the mountain, there are some driveways where literally people have not been able to get down. Yeah. In fact, my recycle can was supposed to be picked up last Thursday, and here we are Saturday, and they they haven't come up here yet. But it's not as bad as some of you that have like feet of snow. Oh my gosh. Isn't that's just like, oh, you might as well just, yeah, burn your garbage in your barrel. That's what we used to do when I was a kid. I love this orange vanilla bowler. Very refreshing. Okay, back to the rack. Okay, back to the rack. So these are all quilts that I just need to tack the binding on. So I decided that anytime I'm doing a Zoom or like I do stitching, well, I probably cross stitch with my cross stitch Zoom, but like I still meet up once a month with a girlfriend that was in a book group that I belong to and sisters, so we Zoom. I'm going to be tacking binding, and it will be the first time I've tacked binding on these quilts in over, I've never even started. What am I talking about? I haven't even started it, but I'm going to because I want to get those done. There's Halloween, there's Civil War. This one up here, I don't know if you can see it. It's got embroidered snowman. I saw that quilt hanging yesterday or the day before on Instagram in my friend Sandy's. She posted a picture, Happy New Year's picture, and I saw that quilt. She had such a cute vignette, and I saw that quilt, and I said, "Oh, I've made that quilt. Wonder where that is." It was in that pile. It's like it's all done. I did all of the quilting. I attached the binding and never tacked the binding down, and it is an adorable quilt. So I'm going to have it ready for next year. Yeah, there's just so many wonderful, wonderful memories in these quilts. They just need the bindings tacked down. So, again, so. Now I have a different view behind me for a while, and I'm hoping because of that I will get them done. The pile that needs to be quilted is now over in a chair, waiting for that miracle to happen. I need that wand from Cinderella where I could get the birds and the mice and everybody working in here. They need to be working in here. That fresh air smells so good. It smells so good. Oh, those poor people in Colorado. I bet you they just feel like this year just keeps on giving, huh? You don't tend to think of fire this time of year. That's our natural disaster is fire, but we don't think about it this time of year. But in that area of Colorado, I guess if a power line goes down, it's just been, they've been in a drought, so it's just dry grass and the wind, and oh man, is that crazy. It's just crazy. Yeah, so I feel for all of you that may be living in that area or had to evacuate. Yeah, what a way to end 2021, huh? We've got to make 2022 better. I kind of like it up here in my little nest. because I look down on the road and I can hear people's conversations. Like the other day, there was a dad and his son who was about 8 who was walking down the street in the snow. And the kid had a whole pile of snow he was carrying. I don't know why. There was snow everywhere. But he was carrying this whole pile. And a chunk fell off of his pile onto the sidewalk. And he literally stopped and looked. And you could tell his mind was trying to think, can I bend over and pick it up? Or it was just the sweetest moment. Just the sweetest moment. I have had some great happy mail. Great happy mail. Some I share on Stitch Roadies, but some I'm sharing here because it's, I don't know if it's more appropriate, but I just feel like it. My friend Sandy, who lives up in British Columbia, she is the person that I passed off, because I just literally couldn't keep up with everything, passed off the duties full-time. She may regret that, full-time, for the Sue Spargo Facebook group that I had started, because, and she does a excellent job at that, along with the Sue Spargo team. But she sent me some fun, she sent me some cross-stitch fabric patterns, but this thing here is just a hoot and a half. Both she and I are crow fanatics. We like them. I don't know if they like us or not. There's a couple kids walking their dog. Just chatting away, just chatting away. But okay, back to this. She sent this calendar. Is that not the most extraordinary? Look at the eye. That is intelligence. And this is the 2022 City Crow calendar. And I'll put the link for this in the description box. But it had, every day there is, every day, every month there is a new awesome picture. And I've decided that I'm going to hang it on my design wall so that I can see it. But look at this. Look at January. They are extraordinarily smart creatures. And I watch them as they hop down the street. And they literally, if they could walk, they would be walking, but they hop. They hop down this street, this road, on garbage day, because they're looking for that house that overstuffed their can. And you'll see 2 or 3 of them looking up at the can, and then they kind of lift off a little bit and peck holes in the bags, trying to see if there's something good to eat. Ooh, I can't wait till March. Oh, they're all great. They are all great. Oh. I've always had a challenge with journals. I have dozens and dozens of journals. I keep trying to find the perfect one, but what I realize is there is no perfect one. It is how you embrace the particular journal. And Fat Quarter Shop sent me a journal and I'm using it for both my cross stitch and my quilting. So you can go on the Fat Quarter Shop website, and I'll put that link in the description box, and get your own planner. But it's by Bee and My Bonnet Company, and I've been doing some stickers in here, but it is for some reason the way it's laid out is not overwhelming to me, and I am not going to make a rule where I have to like there's this is a journal course for the year. I'm not doing that. I am going to embrace this journal and use it to my advantage as a way to, kind of like I use my blog, to make a chronological view of what my week, month, or year might have looked like, to be able to look back on it. And I'm just going to enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy it. I also went on the Woolen Willow site. She has an Etsy shop, and I'll link that down below. Whenever you order something from her, you get this sweet little bookmark. I really love those. I really love those. But I wanted to stay ahead of the holidays, so I should be stitching, huh? I should not be using my hands to talk. I should be stitching. Where was I? Oh yeah. I'm trying to stay ahead of the holidays. And so I was looking at her Etsy shop. And you want to follow her on Instagram, because sometimes she'll give a heads up to what she might be posting in her shop. And she did that. And I was like, oh, I need to be ahead of the ball game. I'm checking to see, did I buttonhole or did I whip? I wanted to start thinking about Valentine's Day. And so when I went to her shop, I saw some things that could help or enhance my Valentine decor. I'm not an over-the-top decor person. Well, I am with Christmas. Boy, it took me 6 hours to take Christmas down. And I was doing so good until about the last half hour I started to lose it. And I was kicking boxes, and oh my God. I had trucker language going on, you know. I was like, who is this person? But I don't, what was I saying? I don't do over-the-top decoration throughout the house. And definitely have never really done big-time decorating for Valentine's Day, but I thought I might like to do a few little vignettes. And she had some lovely things on her website, so you might want to go check. But when I ordered this little wall hanging because it was just so adorable. Let me get it. The little clothespins that came with it, one of them broke in transit, but it turned out I had clips that would work for this, so I changed the clips out. But it came with this little hanger, and it's a wool stitch with that sweet key, and it says, "You hold the key to my heart." Isn't that adorable? So I wanted to, you know, get that. And then, you know, there's the strawberry thing. And that's the thing about Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, is that it literally could drive you to drink, because you just want to do it all. You can't, you don't know what to do, you're running around, and it's so easy for me. I mean, given my, you know, state of mind, it's so easy for me to see that shiny thing in the corner. But although I love the strawberry phenomenon that happened last year, I didn't want to make them. I didn't want to make them. So she had these posted. They're out of chenille. Aren't they the sweetest? And I really thought I could put them in a wooden bowl and make a little decor with my cross stitch, little decoration in my kitchen. So I bought those, but here's the thing. She sent me a gift, and it was like awesome. So in December, she asked me what my word, if I had chosen my word for the year, because we've been aware or following each other on social media for quite a while. I mean, we're wolf fanatics. And so she knows that I pick a word for the year, and she wondered if I had picked it yet. And I told her I had. I had been pondering it. I wish I had done this every year since I started picking my word for the year and just have them all displayed together. I could go back, but I don't know if I have it in me. But she made me this pillow with my word for the year. Isn't that amazing? And attached to it was this little button and heart and a card that had the definition of acceptance, the noun. The action of consenting to receive or undertake something offered. The action or process of being received as adequate or suitable, typically to be admitted into a group. I am accepted into my group of one. This is the most amazing thing, is that this word is part of my joy in accepting that I am good enough to be in my group of one. Wow. I mean, it blows my mind how a word can transform you. But yes, I love this pillow. I love this pillow. Thank you so much. So I'm going to be pretty ready for Valentine's Day. I don't know if I showed you this already, but Michelle, who is Raspberry Rabbit, I had to get this, and I bought it as a linen, and a printed linen, and then I started stitching it. And what's really awesome about this project is that when you look at all the stitching, you're like, oh my gosh, how do I do that? Well, Michelle made a video on how to stitch this project. And believe me, I went on, as much stitching as I've done, I still went on and watched the video and was educated about how a stitch could make a look. So if you're at all inclined, know that there's this wonderful pattern with a video online on how to stitch it. And what was really cool is that she said that there were a couple of people that bought this pattern because they had a wedding in their family and they incorporated it into the Ringbearer Pillow. I made Ringbearer pillows for my kids, but this is just so beautiful, so beautiful. So I have that out so I can see it, and every time I want to take a stitch or two, I do. Let's see, anything else? I'm not sure which of these quilts will be the first one to start tacking down. Well, actually, this quilt right here doesn't have the binding on it. This is the only one. But I started to hand quilt, however crazy I was, to hand quilt the border on it. And yeah, so I need to finish hand quilting. So I thought if it was hanging here on this rack, that might actually happen. That might actually happen. I had to take a week, probably a week or more, kind of a bigger break for me from social media. I was just overwhelmed by it all. Not in necessarily in a bad way, just kind of overwhelmed. You know, you get, I mean, and that week after Christmas is always a week that I pay attention to because I know that there's little things that can trigger me that week. It's something about the transition to a new year, or the looking back at the the challenges of the previous year, whatever reason. I have no idea, and I don't really care. I know that it's going to happen in my life, so I take care of it. I take care of it. And what did I do? While I was stitching, I binge watched the British Baking Show. I mean, an entire season. I watched some documentaries. Oh, this one documentary blew my mind, absolutely blew my mind. It's called My Beautiful Broken Brain. And it's about a 34-year-old documentarian who had a stroke. And it turned out that the stroke was they didn't know at the beginning how, why does a 34-year-old have a stroke? But it turned out because of a malformation in her brain from birth. But because she was a documentary filmmaker, even though she had a disruption of her mind to her thought, to her verbal abilities, she started videoing with her phone her process. Amazing. Absolutely amazing film. So I watched that. And then I watched a couple of Christmas movies that I didn't get a chance to see. And I love them both. I mean, I never even heard of either one, and now I can't even remember the name of them. One was Single at Christmas, I think. Maybe Single at Christmas. And the other one, something about Father Christmas. It actually had John Cleese and Kelsey Grammer in it. And at first, the first part of that movie, I was going, oh man, this drives me nuts. But it ended well. Oh, and then I watched, yeah, so see how this is? I was like on I need to totally be out of my own brain had to take a vacation, and so I just binge watched whatever. So what was that other one? See, I just forgot what that other one was. Let's see, we saw Single Christmas, Father Christmas. Oh well, it'll come to me later. It'll come to me later. So on New Year's Eve, G and I made a charcuterie vegan dinner. We enjoyed some wine, and we watched British comedy. So we watched Are You Being Served? We watched Hyacinth Bouquet, and the Vicar of Dibley. we, it was just a total British comedy evening. I almost made it to midnight, but I didn't. I think I fell asleep at 11:30. But I could hear all the rabble-rousing. I could hear all the rabble-rousing. So, I have a new start this month, and that is Sue Spargo's Trade Winds, whenever that should arrive. That's my new start, and I'm on my new agenda as far as what projects I picked out to give a good college try. Good college try. Well, thank you for stopping by. I hope that today is the beginning of an adventuresome, positive new year. Our paths cross at the Sisters Outdoor Quilt Show, or up here, if you ever come through Portland and are shopping at the same time I am at Pioneer Quilts or Acorns and Threads, please say hi. Keep stitching. It is the peace as in P-E-A-C-E, the peace to our soul. Stitching is creating, embracing that world. It's kind of a grounding touchstone, isn't it? So that's what my year is really going to be focused on, is the joy that all of my crafting life brings me. So we'll see you in the next video. You take care and have a happy New Year day and week and month.